Okay, so this is part 2 of the Victoria Empire Under the Sun walkthrough / tutorial for beginners. What I'm doing at the moment, I'm not entirely sure because I think, let's see, it's not always the clearest viewing my own kind of screenshots on here and kind of commentating at the same time. What I'm doing is I'm buying some furniture, clearly, from the trade panel. I think I'm doing that because I want to create some clerks. Now, in your societies, there's different different roles that like your citizens play, and one of those is clerks, and they're pretty useful because they help boost your technology. But in order to convert some people from your run-of-the-mill kind of farmers and stuff into clerks. By the way, I'm trading in some machine parts so I can create some factories a bit later. As I was saying about the clerks, in order to convert some people to become clerks, you have to have certain resources available, and one of those I think is furniture. Now I'm just going through the factories that I already have and looking at which ones I can build, and I think I'm building a kind of clipper shipyard there, and so what you do is you click pretty much anywhere on the map on your territories, and it will kind of select a region, and then out of that region there are a whole load of provinces. But in order to see the factories, you just click that little icon, that box that you kind of see for a moment where you saw that one. You click there and it shows you what factories you have. Now in I think it's Congress, Poland, there's only one factory, and that is like a fabric factory, and they've all got different icons for the different materials and resources and stuff. Now, what you want to do, I mean, sensible thing, it's like a lot of what I'm going to say is like pretty obvious stuff, but I'm going to say it anyway, just in case it's not obvious. And you want to put factories where there's plenty of people, and you want to create sort of set up factories which are work to your strengths, work to your nation's strengths. So if you create a lot of like timber or something, and you want to create lumber, then that's a sensible option. If you have a lot of I think it's sort of metal and coal or something like that, then create a steel factory. I mean, most of my economies throughout the whole the many campaigns that I played were always based on steel. I mean, steel's pretty useful. Actually, in this Russian campaign, for some reason, it wasn't fetching such a great price. But I'm not really going to go into that just now, because at the moment I seem to be looking at technologies, and I think I've gone for another industrial one there. I can't actually read it too well on my screen. There I am again, going into the military mode, then going down and increasing my mobilization pool before going back into what looks like the budget screen and just having a look at how my finances are working out. And there's a good old minus each day when you're usually importing a lot of expensive resources. But you know what? That usually trails off as well. What you don't want to happen is there's the box there which kind of has loans. What you don't want to happen is for that to build up too much. I mean, we're talking. Well, for Russia, it's not too much of a problem because they seem to be making quite a bit of money at the moment. But even for some countries, like even as much as £10,000 is something that takes a lot of time to pay back. So where possible, don't get into debt at all, because you will be paying interest on that, and it can be just completely. It can completely screw up your economy if you get into too much debt, especially if you're a smaller country. What I'm doing is I'm paying back the debt there, as you can see, and by clicking on that grey box. So do that often, because you can turn at the beginning of the game. It's so easy to be paying for things and not realizing you didn't actually have the money to be paying for it. So make sure you remember that. So I'm just having a look at what's going on. Nothing seems to be happening right now. which is always makes for compulsive viewing, doesn't it? Okay, I've just clicked on the military thing, gone down to the bottom right, and increased the mobilization pool. That's just so that you have a big ass army. I mean, it's so that when Britain and France kind of start this whole Crimean War thing in, I think it's the 1850s or something. It just means that I can, mobilize, kick their asses, and just get a whole load of prestige from just that. And also, you know what? By having a big army, it doesn't actually cost you all that much to keep adding to that mobilization pool. And also, it means later on in the game you can have like millions and millions of troops. It's great. So, what at the moment I'm doing is I'm going through the different regions, then clicking on the factories that I've got, seeing what's there, and I'm just expanding them. I'm clicking that expand button, and the reason I can expand is because I've got machine parts. How did I get machine parts? I just traded for them. Now, to be honest, I don't know why in this particular campaign, I haven't modded this particular this version of the game at all, so I seem to be getting machine parts through really easily at the beginning of the game. Most of the time you won't have that. Certainly from Victoria Empire Under the Sun, I used to always find you used to have to wait till the sort of mid-40s or something like that. That's 1840s, before machine parts became readily available, which is why the technologies for which gave you an extra 5 machine parts or whatever was so useful. It was just you need factories. Put simply, you need factories to make money. You can make money other ways, by beating countries in war and then getting war indemnities, but you will soon kind of run out of countries who are really rich, and also you can beat in a war. In order to, if that's the way you're going to make your living, then you're going to kind of run out of countries to do that to, and actually financially it's not going to be as such a great kind of way of doing things. So let's see what's going on. I mean, I think things just seem to be ticking over rather well, paying back debt when necessary. Let's see, I'm just looking at the factories at the moment, making sure the mobilization pool is quite good. Whenever you want to return to something, I think just click on the crown. What you will want to be doing in this game is make sure that you convert your populations to craftsmen, to clerks, to whatever. I mean, if you with the factories, you will want to make sure you have like enough people to fill those posts, and then when you've got enough, then you can expand it by clicking expand. Just looking at what I'm doing here. Let's talk about relations just very briefly. Here's the negotiation thing. You just go to the relations mode, which is you can find under the crown, and then you click on the country, and then you can click negotiate, and you have to have a certain amount of money, which is why you don't want to be in debt. You don't want to be in minus figures, because certain options like this are not available to you unless you have the money. So you just at the moment, that was kind of talking about getting provinces and stuff, which you cannot do. You see those circles that you saw? Those are kind of home provinces, but I'll talk about that a little bit later. Anyway.